Hey coach, what's your advice on self-worth these days? It's easy to feel like you're not doing well or not enough despite trying your best. That's from NRL Connect. Well, it's true with social media now. You see people's achievements all the time on social media. It might feel like, hey, when do I get to post? When do I get my likes? When do I get to um, get accolades from other people? I think you shouldn't focus too much on that. I think you should focus on what your goal is and wake up every day and work your way towards that goal. Look at your life. Is your routine set for you to reach your goal? If the answer is no, change your routine. Figure out what your goal is. Have you figured out what your goal is? Like, sit in a room for 4 or 5 hours alone and just think, what is your goal? What is it you want to do? What is it you want to achieve? Figure it out. And then what's step number 1, 2, and 3? Like, what do I have to do every day to get to that goal? And become obsessed with reaching your goal. And the rest will take care of itself. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Try not to worry. Here's a very important element in success. Don't worry about other people. They're outside your control. Don't worry about anything that's outside your control. What's the weather today? That's outside my control. Like, I want to know what the weather is because I want to know if I should put on boots or a jacket or not. But I'm not going to lament on the weather. I'm not going to talk about the weather for 8 hours a day. I'm not so interested in the weather. I love my wife, but she always talks to me about the weather. The weather, the weather. Oh, tomorrow and 3 days from now, it's going to rain a little bit at this time. She's obsessed with the weather. To me, like, she's my wife. I let her talk to me about the weather. But for me, I'm not interested about the weather. Tell me if there's a tornado. Okay, then I care about the weather. Tell me if there's a flood. Okay, if it's raining, if it's not raining, if it's sunny, if it's chilly, I'm going to the gym anyway. Like, nothing changes. Nothing. But for her, if it's a little bit drizzly, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to do this. If it's sunny, we're going to go to the pool. Like, her whole day is affected by the weather. My life doesn't change. The weather comes and goes. Unless you're telling me a volcano is about to erupt, I don't care about the weather. Really, the weather is the last thing on my mind. People tell me, the winter. I don't care about the winter. I don't care about the summer. I don't care about anything. I'm going to the gym anyway. I'm going to do my routine. I'm going to these training camps. That's my goal. So for me, like, I'll talk about the weather just to be pleasant with people. Yes, but for me, like, I wake up in the morning. I don't care what the weather is. I couldn't care less because my whole thing is about what is my goal today and what's the next step to achieving my goal. I think you got to put your mind there and don't worry about anything that's outside of your control. If it's outside of my control, I don't worry about it. And if you don't worry about things that are outside of your control, you're going to be far more successful. Why? Because you're going to be laser focused on things that do make a difference. You're laser focused on things that do make a difference. Sometimes I have fighters that are getting ready for their fight and they're all bent out of shape because somebody said something about their fight. Somebody that they like or admire or respect said something about their fight. And I'm like, who cares? Why are we even spending 1 ounce of energy on what that guy said about your fight? What does it change? Why don't you just use that energy? Why don't you use that fury you have for us to go train even more now? Get even more laser focused. Anything that's outside your control that pisses you off should just drive a fire in you. It should just light a fire in you to want to train more and to pursue your goal even more and to be even more successful. Just to show that guy he was completely wrong. That's how you should do it because that's in your control. That's turning a negative into a positive. That's what you should focus on. Never let negatives stay negative. Anything that's negative in your life that happens, first you're going to have an emotional reaction. It's normal. You're a human being. We're all human beings. And then you're going to sit there and think about it. You're going to be like, hey, wait a second. How do I turn this negative into a positive? That's what martial arts is, right? Somebody pushes you, you pull him. He gives you a positive energy, you give him a negative energy. You use his push to your advantage. That's the whole principle behind martial arts.